All right, so let's just check the stream real quick. This isn't an ordinary sort of video that I'm doing live stream format. It's the son of a bitch. It's a similar format to what I've been doing with this sort of alliteration and stuff. I still don't have a fucking name for it, um, but it is a thing nonetheless. So I'm going to try to get some interaction here in this video, and we'll see what happens. I started about 3 minutes early. Um, um, let's see. The dog is growling at me. It is growling at the fucking computer. Okay, so now I have the comment section up. What? Well, come over here if you want to get. You want to be on video or what? Ducky, come here. You're in the thumbnail. You can come over here. Jesus. Okay. So, let's get this link out. Yes. Yes, I know. Ducky. Can you control yourself? Hold on. There, that's better. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a number of things. Obviously, as you can tell by the title. One of the things that we're going to be talking about, obviously, first topic is autism, okay? Or ASMR, rather. So, before I get into that, I want to get into the reason that I wanted to talk about ASMR in the first place. So, YouTube's been rolling out some new stuff, and it's all terrible. YouTube is essentially nuking its own platform, which is actually kind of fucking hilarious. It's only hilarious because I was one of the lucky few to discover Gab and BitChute and all these other fucking things, sort of before my channel started to get a little bit of traction. Now, you might say 72 or however many fucking subscribers I have. Actually, let's check that real quick because that's always cute. I have no idea how many fucking subscribers I have. Let's just take a look. 70, whatever. People subscribe, they unsubscribe, shit happens. What are you gonna do? So, 70 subscribers. Is that really traction? Well, it's better than the 36 that I started with, right? It was just sort of legacy viewers from the older side of content that I was doing. So, YouTube decides to nuke its own platform by doing a number of things. First, what they did is they rolled out. If you start at the beginning, they get rid of the star rating system and they go for this whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing. They move the comment section from the bottom to the right. They get rid of response videos appearing in a smaller box beneath your video. They get rid of your inbox, and then later on, in I think 2018 or 2017, they replace it with another inbox that nobody fucking uses to communicate with other people on YouTube. Then they force integration with Google Plus, and of course Google Plus is failing, and they're gonna nuke that. And it's just been a clusterfuck. So then, they roll out, instead of the partner program, they roll out monetization, they roll back monetization. For a lot of people, they introduced limited state. They fiddle fuck with just about everything on the site. They get rid of, and now they're talking about getting rid of the comment section, which is really fucking hilarious. And basically, the site is going to be like MySpace. It's going to be dead. It's going to be a dead site soon. So what I would suggest is, since they're getting rid of the comment section, if you want to continue using YouTube, I would say get Gab and then get Dissenter through that. Dissenter allows you to have a comment section on literally every page on the internet, every website. It's very interesting. I had a similar idea a number of years ago that obviously I couldn't do anything with because I don't own a hosting or a platform of my own, so it's completely pointless. that that would allow you to basically snapshot and comment on things, even though people took them down. I did something similar with YouTube, or not with YouTube, but with Facebook. Um, people disable their comment section and stuff. People leaving hateful comments. Yeah, that's gonna happen. You're when you're a personality on YouTube and you decide that you're gonna start making content. That's generally what happens. Anyway, so um, this is going to negatively affect a lot of people. Basically, if and it's sort of like nebulous. It's not. They say anything that has to do with kids is basically not going to have a comment section. So they mean, are you a kids channel if your demographics are mostly the under 18 crowd? Wow, my hair is doing retarded shit today. Are you a kids channel if your demographics are the under 18 crowd? Or are you a kids channel because you talk to kids specifically? And not only that, if you say the word fuck, so demonetized, limited state, no comment section, period, and end of story. Nothing you can do about that. That's going to be really difficult, especially for ASMR channels, which are more sort of PG-13 for the most part, unless you're somebody like Ephemeral Rift. If you talk about controversial topics like, let's say, gender, like Tirar, I always fuck up his name. Tirar Duelo, fucking, um, goddamn, what the fuck? Dr. Andrew Michaels, Mike Weil, that guy. If you're one of these people who's ever sworn or ever talked about a controversial topic, and your demographics swing mostly or generally towards a lower age demographic, does that mean that you lose your comment section permanently? You lose all fan interaction. Tirar Duelo is somebody who uses their comment section a lot for video suggestions, and they're in the beginning of his videos where he shows the person who made the comment for the idea for the video, and then he makes the video. So it's getting to be very dystopian here. It sucks. YouTube sucks as a platform. It's so limited. Um, the real issue is there are alternatives like BitChute, but unfortunately there's no app, and a lot of people watch this shit on mobile. Um, some people, like, if you're watching ASMR, sometimes your TV, but if you don't live alone, then it's mostly headphones and keep your phone on or whatever. Or I suppose you could use the Tingles app, but not everybody has gone over to that for ASMR still. But you might want to think about doing that. Um, it's getting really awful. So ASMR channels might go bye bye, but you could get somebody who talks to a lot of ASMR channels like Tiara Duela, who is of course subscribed to me. Thank you very much for that, by the way. We did a collab video. When I get this up, hopefully link in the description to that. We didn't collab directly. I just sort of parodied what I thought the character he was talking to that he made up was saying. So the it's a wonderful thing, YouTube, that you could talk to so many different people and find so many different channels, and there's such a variety of content that you can watch, but it's also so restrictive in what you can and can't do, and the monetization, and this there's no way to police all this shit. You could have a million algorithms and bots, but there's hundreds, I think there's thousands of people just to handle all the false takedowns that have been going around on people's channels for frivolous reasons. So unfortunately, that's what's happening. I think that the ASMR community should get together and decide that they're all going to move over to BitChute, talk to Ray, try to get an app out so that people can watch on mobile. Streaming services, stuff like that. I don't know what else you could do at this point, but you're gonna end up having a lot of fucking problems if you don't do something. Start making exclusive content for BitChute, and then just wait for Ray, the owner of BitChute, or founder rather, to go ahead and fix the issues and get the application. So, this is actually now in part a response to two videos that Tirara Duela did, Mike Weil, I'm just gonna call him Mike from now on because his YouTube channel name is a fucking mouthful. No offense. Um, he was talking about labels. Jesus Christ! It's wow, that was weird. It just ducked out. Okay, so this is actually a response video to his labels video and his what you call it, his gender thing. Okay, so labels are extremely useful. They help us to identify things. Attaching names to things help us point out the differences and various other things. It's sort of an innate thing in nature. If you're sort of religiously inclined, then you might be inclined to believe that God has given us dominion over the world and animals and stuff. So that's why we name them. But as far as linguistically speaking, in a secular way, um, labels help us to break down hierarchies of which we are a part of several at any given time, given our tribal nature. It's sort of how society organizes itself naturally. Um, Even when you take people out into the Sonoran Desert, drop them off, and let them do hippie, trippy stuff, artists and whatnot, or like in Slab City, they still organize themselves in such a way that even if they were trying to be communist or anarchist or anarcho-communist or anarcho-capitalist, they still have to organize themselves into hierarchies so that you have a system of governance. Otherwise, it's just everyone runs riot over each other. It's firearms Wild West type stuff. So labels are extremely useful. They're not harmful. They're just meant to describe something. They can be used in a harmful way, but so can just about everything. Whether it's a tool, whether it's a word or a concept, or whether it's the way you act or the way you dress, nonverbal. Obviously, these things. Like if I was to flip you off, that's a symbol in and of itself. Most things are symbols. This is why I probably shouldn't do these in the living room, but that's fine. So, in the same way, gender is a social construct. I think it was coined in something like the 1950s by some fruity dude who dressed like a woman or something like that. Obviously, that's probably not accurate information, but you get what I mean. Gender is as a social construct, it's made up. So there's probably like 100, 300, a million, an infinite number of genders, but there's only so many different combinations of chromosomes that can make up sex, which is a separate thing. Gender is sort of based on gender is sort of based on sex, but it's also based on how you're feeling on that particular day. In some instances, if here's what you should do when you're thinking about gender is you should definitely look up the 72 genders thing, and then actually if you break it down, it's an infinite number of genders because some people's genders are actually colors, and the spectrum branches out in those directions, and then it multiplies based on certain characteristics. So there was another video that I watched that breaks this down quite eloquently, but I can't be fucked to remember what the hell the name of the channel was. Again, link in the description if I ever remember it. But yeah, so gender's made up nonsense. People can be intersex. There are, I forget how many different combinations of chromosome in the XY fashion. Sometimes double X, double Y, XY. I think YX or some have instead of an X, they have a K chromosome or something like that. The proteins don't fold correctly. Um, but as far as like the physical manifestation of those genetic traits, it usually manifests in either having a penis or a vagina or breasts or not having breasts, the hips, the brain size. It manifests in several physical ways that are observable, which is why sex is a concrete thing that we can that is just made up and nobody gives a goddamn. So interesting. It's interesting to discuss. In and of itself is a fiction. So, well, obviously, or maybe not obviously, maybe some people don't know, but trans people, I don't have an issue calling, some person who is biologically female a male if they're in the process of transitioning, but I have a much harder time when they don't have some of the outward signifiers like facial hair or deeper voice, or like if you're transitioning from female to male, or the inverse of those properties if it's the other way around. Only because it's very difficult to, and some people are biologically male, identify as male, and they just is transsexualism good for our society? Probably not. Um, I don't want to derail this, so let me just finish my point and then I'll answer that question. Um, so, gender is always in flux. Sex is usually outwardly identifiable. When it's not, obviously, we have to make and bend some rules for those people. It's not their fault that they just sound or look like whatever the opposite sex is. So, our transsexual, I think you meant, is transsexualism good for our society? Being a transsexual is not inherently good or bad. Transsexualism, when you're making it a precedent that you want to push um, as sort of an ideology, is bad. And when you're getting kids involved in this, younger than 13 especially, it can be extremely harmful to society in a number of ways. I did a video with Sister Sunshine, what the hell is it? Victor with a K, and Brett Keen, and maybe I forget if Von Helton was present for that, but we did a whole video about that exact subject. So I'll try to link all this shit. I'll have to watch it again and grab everyone's fucking link so I can remember. So, you know. So now on to the next thing is, like, for example, I'm autistic. We were talking about labels earlier, and I meant to tie this in directly, but I just didn't get a chance to segue because I wanted a tangent that happens. Um, people call me autistic. I don't get offended because I am. If I wasn't, I also wouldn't get offended because if I, to be anything other than myself would be to not, even if I'm not actually autistic and I'm just exhibiting these characteristics, it would be an apt description of my behavior regardless of if I was actually medically diagnosed or had this genetic trait of autism, specifically Asperger's. So this is how labels function regardless or not if they're true, because they help us generalize, and sometimes generalizations can be useful when you're trying to communicate effectively an idea about a person, a thing, a concept, or whatever. So it serves its purpose and it's functional. So labels are good. Okay. Um, and being autistic, also making these fucking videos, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about autism because autism is one of the red list items like 9/11 and the JFK assassination that YouTube is cracking down on. Aliens are okay though. That thing that nobody's ever proven is true. Um, that's fine. It's just as verifiable as literally um, any other thing that they've put on their fucking red list. So I don't know how much longer they're gonna let me talk about my medical and psychological condition, um, but that's why I have BitChute. So that's wonderful. And the other reason that we're doing this live stream that I've talked about is this is actually a test. It's helping me to in post verify the quality of the stream. I'm not going to be doing it mobile like I am now, but I want to make sure that, because I did a video the other day towards Brian, which is the actual last video. I should not talk about Brian anymore. He is a waste of time. But I did that video and the quality was terrible, and it never gave me any issue or said, hey, you fucking moron, the stream's not working properly. It did this time though, which is good. So hopefully I've got that worked out. I've got OBS. I've got to do a couple of things with it before this works 100% properly, but I want to do a live stream because we're trying to get Knives, aka Jimmy Hats, some goddamn money so he can pay off his Medical bills. He's an Australian vet. Video. Okay, I'll have to remember to put the link in the goddamn description. Um, to that, and his GoFundMe is in the description of that video. I might just link both of them here. Um, so we're thinking about doing a podcast, not just an ordinary live stream. Together in a lot of the same way that House or Quackity or Diesel or all these other uh, people who do like read Reddit and stuff like that. Thinking about doing it in sort of that format, but live. But it's curious. It's an interesting concept that we have run with it or whatever. But we, I mean, some of the members of the admin staff in the Spurg Squad hideout. There's a number of other deals that I'm trying to pick up with other YouTubers, cross appearances on other people's live streams, since now people are starting to get my name in their mouths and on their channels. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm trying to schedule something with Ray from BitChute, but it's hard to get a hold of him. I'm thinking about maybe talking to. I want to try to talk to him directly, but if I can't, Suit Yourself was probably my next best lead in, or I could talk to Ferret or somebody like that. So hopefully we get that all together, and we can raise all that we need to raise for Knives. He's, I think he's at 49 or 59 or something like that. I forget how many dollars we've raised for him, but oh no, it's $39 of 6,000. So we've got a long way to go, but people aren't sharing the links. So I really need to get out there because I want to get this done. Bexillian the Reptilian, aka Becca, not Knives' wife. We raised the officially the $200 that she needed to get a new mattress because she pays bills and stuff, so she couldn't afford one. But we just did the mattress thing as a test to see if we could get even $200. So I think that was a good start. It took a little while to get the money, but hopefully it won't take as long once I start getting these things off the ground. I don't know what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days. My fiance's father, with the medical conditions that he's having, and all of her family, and of course herself. It's been difficult. She's not living here right now. I don't know how long that's gonna last for, but I got my fucking dog back, so I feel pretty good about that now. He cute boy, so I feel better having the dog here now. That sucks. But people aren't going to be living here for much longer because they have things to do. Oh, one last thing before I go, and then I am going to wrap this up. I'm doing some different things in real life too. Some of you know that I've done that I've done stand-up before. I want to do that again. So I've got a thing in Saratoga, New York. I've got one in New York City. I've got one in New York City in April. And then I want to do something in Canada while I'm up there. And I'm trying to book other stuff. But some people have come into the club and stuff and seen my stuff, and they want to put me elsewhere too. So I'm going to be traveling a lot over the next couple of months. I'm trying to get stuff booked between April 1st and probably the end of summer. So like September 21st. So hopefully that all works out. Thanks for fucking watching, I guess. Gerard, feel free to comment or whatever you're gonna do. You can talk to me on Twitter. I'm in your DMs. I slid into your DMs, bro. If you want a Discord link, go ahead and comment, and I'll give you a temporary link. You'll have to respond quickly because we screen people and stuff like that. But, yeah, you can come in and talk to me and hang out. I would recommend that you get a Discord anyway. It's good for your community. And since they're probably going to be getting rid of your comment section any day now, I would I would do something if you're not going to get Gab or anything like that. And I know you're ideologically aligned, sort of left, but you don't like that label. So I don't know what to call you. Probably nothing. I'll probably just call you Mike. So, without further ado, this is the end of the video. Hope you all had a wonderful day today. And hopefully I'll be seeing you again this evening with the actual live stream podcast style thing that we'll be doing. So,